Alright, frienderinos. Time to accept questies and stuff. Nor, contemplating what a phantom thief is. Interesting. The most important part of being a phantom thief is successfully sneaking, so let's work on that. I wonder why she'd be contemplating what a phantom thief is at this point after a year of us being extremely established as the phantom thieves, but interesting. I wonder if we can successfully infiltrate the Sapporo jail and it's entirely solely on foot. Okay, so yes, another sneaky Durgan questie. I've actually started to really enjoy these. They're challenging in a way that I really like, actually. Interesting. Because there's some kinds of challenging games I'm about a little bit, but this is like a really engaging type of challenge for me. In this game, actually. It's kind of unorthodox feeling for the kind of game that this is. And I think that's interesting. It almost feels like the sort of quest that would be in a mod that I really enjoy. But it's not a mod, it's in the game itself. It's really interesting. I like these. They're cool. They're a nice change up. Because you don't really... Because again, I think it's because I don't tend to sneak, and I probably will still not tend to sneak very much. These force me to, and it's an interesting change of pace for me.
Time to get to work.
Dude, so this is Sapporo, and yeah, there's gonna be one for every... I really do wonder if there's gonna be a bunch of side quests for Kanoe's Dungeon 2 before the end. I would imagine there would be, but maybe not. But why would there not be, though? So, like, I really do wonder when they're gonna start trickling in, though. And I find it interesting that, you know, we're just getting kind of random quests. You know, it seems like every time we enter the Sapporo jail again, not the Sapporo jail, I want to say the Kyoto jail next, it's the Osaka jail, there we go. Every time we enter it, it seems like we get more quests, or, I'm not exactly sure when, though, because every time I see new ones, it's kind of a surprise to me, I'm not sure when they give you them. It seems like entering the dungeon does it, which is a weird time for that, because you can't accept them until you leave it again. Anyway. He's challenged Skull. Yeah, his is not Sneaky Durgan. A bunch of them have been Sneaky Durgan, but his isn't because it's Skull. Yeah, Phantom Thieves do a lot of sneaking around, but we gotta work up a sweat every so often too. This is so Ryuji, I love this. See, I think, haven't all the Phantom Thief challenges been sneaky so far? I like this change up for the quest format too. It's so Ryuji, it makes so much sense. Plus, we have to work on our sick moves, so let's get in that jail and go hog wild. Hell yeah. Oh, hey, yeah, here we go. Osaka jail quest. So we're starting to get him now. And another one. Hound of Hades howls. Oracle, seeing things again. I just saw the blue butterfly again. Oh, and I picked up a really strong reading in Juoji Zoo in the Osaka jail. We should get nice and ready if we're gonna rumble. Oh boy, yeah. I'm gonna do that quest last after I do upgrades and things, because it might be pretty much of a doozy, because it's in our current jail. So...
Okay, let's do our best.
Let us indeed do our best. Alright, friends. So, let's first tackle Thief's Challenge Nor in Sapporo jail, and then we'll do the one in Osaka jail, and then we'll do the, Ryuji's quest in Osaka jail, and we'll do the, Hound of Hell quest. Okay. Explore jail, and since I haven't used Haru in a billion years, and this is all the way back in the Sapporo jail, I think it's safe to use her. I will go ahead and sneak around as her, why the heck not, right? And again, it makes sense because this is her jail.
Alright.
I've noticed Ryuji doesn't seem to have his own quest, though. His own, like, jail, which I kind of feel sad about because I feel like he deserves one. But it also makes sense that the game would totally not give Ryuji one, if anyone. See it. Durgan hours. Oh, I mean, but, like, a lot of people's jails have been blending together now, so, like, he might randomly get some... Well, I mean, there was definitely a good moment for him in, well, it was also a moment for Morgana, though, and it was really around Sophie, though, in, the Okinawa jail. But yeah, like, it's weird because, like, the game started out, it was a jail per person for 3 jails, and then everyone's arcs started blending together. And I wonder why they did it that way. Did they originally plan to have everyone have a jail, but then, like, didn't have the development time or money or whatever for it? Or what? Or they just wanted to start it out that way for fan favorites? But if it's for fan favorites, I would feel like candidates that are a little bit more I mean, I don't really know exactly where On stands in popularity, and I don't really care about the general gamer popularity of characters, but especially because I usually fall outside of what the popular characters are. Pretty sure Makoto is not best girl to most people. Most people, I'm pretty sure it's either like Haru or Futaba, but for me it's Makoto. But yeah, like, I wasn't expecting On to have the first dungeon, except, well, they clearly went by like the Persona 5 formula for the first two. I don't know if they really picked it because of that. I really do wonder why it was first On and then Yusuke. Although, it might also have been based more on, they had the concept, now who made sense to have an arc along with that? Both Alice and... I feel bad for forgetting his name. I keep forgetting the name of the second, monarch. I don't know why, especially because his arc really touches me in a personal place. And there's Mariko in third jail, which is Haru's arc. All those make sense, and I like that we got a little bit more Haru background. And also, well, the Okinawa jail really does serve as a lot of... not the Okinawa jail, but really the lead-up to that. The whole lead-up of cutscenes to the Okinawa jail. The whole going to Kyoto as a sidetrack and meeting up with Akane and all that. And that's a really good, like, Makoto focused arc there that also includes Zen and Akane. I really do like how they switched up the formula at that point, and how they've included everyone in pretty good amounts, except for Ryuji. But Ryuji's just been trickling in as being Ryuji the whole game, and he's probably the most flanderized character in the entire game, but, I mean, they kind of treated him like that in 5 too. And I'm not very happy about that. I've always been rather vocal. If you've watched my Persona 5 Let's Play, and if you have your also Persona 5 Royal Let's Play, and even probably the unfinished 5 Let's Play that I don't recommend anyone watches because I was still figuring out how to do anything, and then I abandoned that Let's Play, and I probably will never play the original 5 again because Royal is so awesome. But regardless, friends, I'm going to freaking play this before I sit here and ramble for 70 years. But first, we gotta change party. We gotta put Haru in there because it's her quest, just because. It's an excuse to use Haru ever again. Oh, whoa, whoops. Can I Oh no. Then how do I give her... How do I arrange her skills? Oh no, can I even ever arrange her skills again now? Unless she before letting her level again? I'm not sure. I don't really care, I'm not going to use her much anyway, so... We'll see what happens when I level up, if it makes me do a lot of skills. I don't know. And I really don't know how these people are getting skills when I'm not using them. That's really confusing me. Like, I don't really understand the mechanic. I don't really want to understand the mechanic, though, because I just want to get through the game for the story, mostly. So, yeah. And also, I'm so slow. My pace is slow because of how I am, especially because this is a Let's Play and I like to ramble, that I'm gonna take longer than most Let's Players to, at least, like, video length and series length to get this done. So, to begin with, so I feel even less inclined than a lot of other times. Oh, no, I don't feel less inclined than a lot of other times. What am I talking about? I've always been pretty half-assed about learning mechanics unless I have to for, like, completing the game. But not all the time. Oftentimes, though. Most of the time, though. Regardless, by the way, who did I replace with Haru? Because if it's Makoto, that's a no. That is an absolute no. Sorry, Yusuke. It was Yusuke, yeah. I wouldn't even want to replace Zen with her, because I love those two so much now. I love every party member in this game, to a degree or another, because they do have a good cast here, but... I'm gonna save again because I just save scum. I just do it, and I'm pretty sure I saved 5 seconds ago. But my save scumming habit is just really, really rampant, clearly. Alright. Alright, friends. Friends and freenerinos. I feel a little insecure today, and, like, I'm bad at games, and if I don't get better, then people are going to judge me more than they're going to like my content. But I do my best, I really do. I'm just afraid it looks to people like I don't care, and I talk like I don't care a lot of the time, but it's just that, again, you see that it takes me a while to get through things, and it's just like, if I can get through most challenges without caring about the whole, you know, everything the game has to offer, then, like, why should you care unless you want to care? That's really how I feel about that. Anyway. And sometimes I will want to care about mechanics a lot more than other times, and y'all will probably see that on this channel, because I will play so many games here. Alright, friends, so, also I'm just gonna go ahead and sneak around as Nor. Oops, I changed to Zen, not Haru. There you go, Haru. Look at her being cute. Alright, so, where's the wreck? It's there, in Sapporo Tower, and see, now I know how to, like, I have to read what the area is, and I've got, like, a formula for figuring out the route there, right? So, Sapporo Tower, and you reach there from Odori Park only. Okay, is there a way directly to Odori Park from here? Yes, okay, so, through Odori Park into Sapporo Tower, which is that way. So, into Odori Park, into Sapporo Tower. Easy peasy. Although, granted, getting there will likely not be very easy peasy, because I really do feel like the... We'll see, though. I don't think there's lights here in this case, though. I don't remember there being any, like, light sections, which are really more difficult for me than, and likely always will be, to a degree, more difficult for me than actual enemy sections. But anywho, friends. Alright, so, to Odori Park. I did accept it, right? This is just, you know, this is a second guessy Durgan right now. And I'm gonna be more confident in myself the more I get done of this episode and things in my given day. We all out attack Durgan, heck ye. Friends. Friends. Okay.
Someone looks happy. Was that not a challenge? All right. No time. No waste.
Huh. What is that?
Careful. There's a shadow lurking around.
This game is very fun. I like this game. Wee.
Like a what?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here's the card.
Whew!
Full power, everyone.
All right, time to get started.
Very close. Make sure it's still freaking... Okay. I wait for the music to switch. There we go.
Here's what I found.
I'm getting better at that stuff, too.
You're already working on
Remembering how you are improving is very helpful for someone with low self-esteem. And it's a habit that I'm getting better at, and I do feel that I do feel better about myself. You know, as bad as you think you have to feel about yourself, and as dumb as and whatever else as you think you are, friends, you can have a different mindset regardless of the shortcomings that you may always have. Because perspective can include so many different things and more positive ways of looking at things that just help you do better anyway. Because a lot of what I used to think was just hard set, oh well, I suck because blah, a lot of that really was just anxiety making things worse for me until I learned how to deal with it. Until I learned how to not make things so bad for me. And I've been doing that a lot recently. Because I've always wanted to do YouTube, but I'm finally doing it despite my anxiety. And the more that I face my anxiety by doing this and other things, I find myself better at things, because a lot of what used to hold me back was anxiety constantly making, getting so big in my mind that I couldn't focus on anything else. And what's helping me not have that issue anymore is just facing it. Because there would be a lot of initial anxiety making things extremely worse for me. But then the more that I push regardless, as much as I healthily can, and that's the key about pushing. I don't even like using the word pushing, because I feel like ideally you shouldn't have to push to make anything happen. You shouldn't have to exert, you know, extreme amounts of effort, because that's extremely exhausting and not at all sustainable. But a little bit does seem to be necessary, unfortunately, because I feel like ideally that shouldn't be necessary, because it's unhealthy for us to exert a lot of effort. I mean, look at how this society is progressing. It's clear that exerting way too much effort is really fucking unhealthy for us, but regardless. This is gonna be Rambly Durgan episode number... I mean, I ramble every episode, what am I talking about? Less so some than others, but I'm sure I go off on some tangent like this every episode. I think it's just part of my brand at this point, and I don't want to change it, because it's very helpful for me to talk about this stuff. To a degree, mostly. I feel like sometimes I ramble on too much about it, even for my own benefit, but being able to just talk and never ever feel judged, because let's be honest here, even when I'm talking to a friend that I know has my best interest in heart, there are a lot of times where I feel like I shouldn't say X, or Y, or Z, and a lot of those reasons why I think are valid. But there's just something very cathartic and very therapeutic about being able to sit here in front of a camera, not even on stream so that I don't have any immediate reactions from people, and say whatever I want without any fear of immediate repercussion. The ability to do that is literally therapeutic to me, and helps me feel better about myself, because I can express myself in every possible way that I want on these videos. And if you don't like it, all you can really do is not watch, and there you go. I don't blame you for doing that if you don't like my videos. You perfectly are fine to not like them, although when I literally get dislikes on my videos, and I think I've gotten more dislikes than likes so far, it really does hurt sometimes, but although I may not have gotten more dislikes than likes, it's just, I think, honestly, I know I've gotten likes on things here and there, and I've only gotten like 2 or 3 dislikes that I remember right now, because of how little traction I have going right now. But I remember those more, and we need to be careful about falling into this trap where it feels like the negative is more than the positive, when in reality what we're doing is we're focusing on the negative so much because for survival we focus on the things that are wrong, right? And survival is just not as much of a thing as it used to evolutionarily be for humans. So we're in this weird place right now where we react in a survival mode type way to a lot of things that don't actually like constitute survival, especially in today's society. And that is where a lot of anxiety comes from. What happens is, what we're doing is we're literally having a life or death type of response to things that are not life or death at all. And that's what anxiety is, more than anything. And once you realize that and the absurdity of that, you just begin to do better. And that feels good.
Now then.
Doing better feels really good. I think I am done rambling for now, so that feels good. It feels good to have just said that stuff. And to also be at a place where I can just play the game and hopefully commentate more on the game than anything else. Okay, I am so glad that thing didn't turn around. What am I doing? I'm being risky right now. Wait, hold on. I've been autopiloting a little bit. I'm gonna make sure I didn't already fail the request after I beat up these women who bring ruin. By the way, I'm pretty sure I remember having a lot of issues with these girls when I was going through this place, but bam. It's been a while since then, so honed. Feels good, man. Alright. Oops, I need to go down this way. I did beat up all the enemies on the... Wait, hold on. Request.
Here's what I found.
Sapporo jail, yeah, okay.
Here's what I found.
Good stuff, guys.
Or no, yeah, it's a black checkmark still.
Here's
what I found.
No enemies in sight. Keep moving.
You can always use it.
Oh no, oh no, 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 no! Okay, yeah, I was panicking. I don't know why I was trying to do her long-range stuff. I don't know what I was even trying to do. Well, I got to the third area. I got really close. I think I honestly need to take a break from playing before I continue this, but most of me wants to make sure I get this done before I do anything else today. Because I literally woke up and recorded, because this is the most important thing to me right now. And I really want to make sure that I get this done, this side quest done at least, before I take a break. Because I will not stop my recording, but I feel like I need to get some stuff done for self-care reasons, but, I really want to finish this side quest first. This is also a self-care thing. It's mostly a making sure that the first thing I do today feels like a significant achievement for me.
I should write something.
You know? Because that way my whole day is going to feel better than it would be if I didn't achieve something first thing today. So. Turn from jail. I really wish you didn't have to leave the jail and then accept the request again, then go back in, because that's just extra tedium that I think is completely unnecessary and silly to me. I really feel like you should have to just, like, return to the beginning of the jail and then try again. Although, granted, with this specific side quest, like, because of the ways that... Okay, now I think I get it. I just realized.
Here's what I found.
Not all quests, but some of them. I mean, actually, no, now I think I get it. Because it removes the challenge if you can just restart them. If you can just, like, not have to care about the enemies in your way at all at any point during, especially these quests, because if there aren't enemies in the way
Time to get to work.
for some of the paths, which will occur now that I've beaten so many of the enemies in my way here, it removes some of the challenge. Now, I don't remember if I go back to the early areas, if things will have respawned. I don't remember right now, but part of me feels like that's not the case, but I don't quite remember right now. Anyway, I feel pretty insecure today. I feel like I'm bad at games and I shouldn't be trying to do anything with my life. But I'm still trying to do anything with my life, and with games, because I love them.
Very
So
well.
let that be a
Let us
lesson,
depart.
friends. Just because you feel bad at something, if that's what holds you back, you're going to be miserable. That's what I've noticed. I'm going to be happy as long as I continue doing things that I love with no fear. Now that's really fucking hard, but it's extremely worth it. Extremely. Because this is the reason I'm doing okay right now. The fact that I'm working on this stuff. It's the reason. The primary one. There's others. But the primary one is I'm doing this stuff. I'm doing something with my life. And I'm afraid that I won't be able to make a living at all. But that's just my anxiety talking. I am almost certain of that. But I do also kind of feel like the way that my brain is wired doesn't allow for me to have the kinds of jobs most people do to make a living. Like, or work the kind of way that most people do to make a living. Especially to be self-employed, because of how much you often have to do with that. But, you know, I have to try something instead of sitting around twiddling my thumbs, because I don't want my dad to have to support me for the rest of his life, you know? And it's not just that. I would love to be independent for myself. And for anyone else in the future that I might be able to support, you know, because I'm independent and I have my own financial stuff. But regardless, friends.
I should write something.
try this again. We know exactly the path we need to take.
Right. We
I will
got
just
Yours.
I understand.
focus harder. So,
Target's in sight. Let's take it out.
there's nothing stopping me from going down this side. I guess since I kind of ended up going down this side, I'll try it that way. If I was originally going to go down the other side, I don't really know why. Both sides of the partition work, don't they? Or whatever you would call this. I'm not sure what you would call these strips in the middle of the road with grass on
I'd
them.
say we performed quite admirably.
Other than just that, but I'd rather call them something less wordy.
What is?
And I'm sure there is a term for them, I just don't know what they
Can
are.
we take a look?
Maybe it is partition, I don't remember. If I ever knew the term for that, I don't remember what it is. Okay, yeah, he's on the other side. Okay, I'm gonna wait for him to go past just to make sure, or go back that way, that works too, just to make sure he can't see me when he turns around. Oof, also. Oof, okay. Oof.
The shadow hasn't noticed us. Now's our chance.
Oof, oof. Be careful, Dergy.
Finish them off in one blow.
Vertigo slash. Chance of inflicting dizzy with square triangle. Hell yeah.
Wait.
I just need to do more about more YouTube and
Okay.
less
Let's keep
just
this
playing
up.
games by myself as a reward
What should we do?
for doing anything with YouTube today. Because exerting the effort, putting forth the effort to grow my channel it's scary because I don't have a lot of traction yet. I'm gaining more traction steadily, but I'm afraid I'll never
Yeah,
gain
their heads
enough
up their
traction to
asses.
make a
What else can I
living
say?
doing this. Now granted, it doesn't have to be YouTube, I would like to get a traction on YouTube so that I can get some other things going, at least Twitch. Maybe some other stuff too. And also, you know, I just like to gain skills, especially just general life and work skills that I could also use to do some other endeavors.
Not even
but
worth
yeah.
my time. Okay, let's keep it moving.
Heck ye friends,
No enemies in sight.
we adore, we park. But yeah, I feel like I'm coming to my own, and at the very least, that this is helping me come to my own. Even if it never makes me money or anything like that, or feels like a significant achievement in my life, it'll be a very nice thing. But I feel like it already feels like a significant achievement in my life. You know why? Because a lot of anxiety was wrapped up in this, and now I just consistently do it, regardless of all of that.
Show 'em what we got.
Regardless of all this stuff that used to feel like an immovable wall in the way of what I wanted to do. It wasn't. I'm past
Easier
it.
than cleaning a
I'm
paint
past that initial wall
Here's
of not
hoping the
making
next
the
one's
effort.
just as easy.
I'm just
Not seeing
afraid
the ship.
now that I can't
Oh, I wonder
do
what
anything
Should we
significant
go
with
find
this,
out?
or possibly anything. Or that I feel is significant with my whole life, but I hopefully have a lot of years to prove myself wrong on that. I've seen how generally people seem to judge me, and how generally a lot of people seem to consider me
Power, everyone! Go, go, go!
pretty damn low skills, and it makes me... Since so many people that I've met have underestimated me, or I don't even know if it's underestimating. Most people seem to really feel like I'm dumb or stupid or not very competent at all for a lot of reasons. And if so many people I've met seem to think that way... Now granted,
Walk in the park.
I know that a lot of that is probably me projecting, but it's still a feeling that I get, and I don't know what to say about that otherwise, other than what I've already said. Like, I know a lot of it probably comes from my own head, but at the end of the day, all these thoughts in my own head were originally created and made so big because I interpreted a lot of other people as thinking that I'm dumb or whatever, and a lot of those people literally said it to my face, that I'm sure a lot of them really did. And you know, you could say all sorts of things about, oh, you can just not think about what people, you know, think about. You could just not care about that. Yeah, I'd love to just do that. I clearly can't. I hate when people talk like that. I understand you mean well when you say things like that, people, but stop saying that kind of shit to people. I try my best not to say that stuff to people either. It's a pretty common... Especially, you know, if you don't struggle with something but someone else does, and you know they struggle with that, it can still be kind of hard to not say things like, oh, you need to just not do that. But if someone's struggling with something, they can't just not do that. Like, that's common sense, right? Like, if you stepped back far enough, you could realize, oh, hey, they probably can't really do that, and that's probably going to be pretty distressing to hear that. At least right now. Until they figure out how. But as I am right now, I can't just not care about what people think about me. I'm getting closer to that, and what's funny is I say that, but there's more and more times where I literally feel like I don't care. So I'm getting better, but there's just a lot of times where, yeah. And there used to be a huge roadblock in my head where I thought that the fact that other people were constantly telling me just to do this and just to do that, that literally felt like it meant that I couldn't. Because it felt like the world was reminding me that I couldn't do anything with my life. That's what it felt like when people said that. That's a really irrational way to think about it, now that I think about that, now that I say that out loud, but that's what it felt like to hear that. It felt like a reinforcement of my own fear that I couldn't do just what they told me to just do. Because if it's so simple that I should be able to just do it, and I'm not able to do that right now, then what the hell does that mean about me? That must mean I'm a piece of shit. That's what it felt like. It feels like to hear that. So please be careful not saying that shit to people, okay? This has been a Dergy PSA. And again, I apologize if, like, my stuff's too heavy or too aggressive sometimes, but I need to say this stuff somewhere, and doing it while I'm playing a game that I love is really helpful. For me getting it out, at least. And making sense of my own head. Because this way, it doesn't have to be all in once and all intense, because I'm also focusing on doing something I love while I'm getting it out. So it's very helpful for me to even, like, cross this mental territory that I need to in order to continue, like, improving. Now, I sort of want to go up and around this way. Can I? Or is this just like a wall in my way right now? Yeah, okay. I think I don't remember if you can go back, like, down this way as, like, a shortcut, but yeah, like, I had a feeling that since there were no enemies there, that there was no way I was going to be able to go that way. And I'm pretty sure that grayness means that that's an impassable thing, although I'm pretty sure you can't get past that gray strip down there, but I don't remember exactly how this place works, so.
I'll give it my all.
Oof, thank fuck. That scared me, man. Very close. But I'm getting there.
Don't let up.
Yeah, I'm using Noir because I have... Now, these quests are now going to be a reason to use the person that's giving them. Ah.
Good thing we won.
Hell yeah, I agree. Also, that's everyone in my way except for that last enemy. There's one more enemy in my way. Whew. Even if I don't win this, I got way closer, and I should pat myself on the back for that. Alright? I'm literally patting myself on the back. Because if you have low self-esteem, you know part of why you do? You have unknowingly reinforced, at least in my experience this is part of it, you have unknowingly reinforced your feeling of low self-esteem by not rewarding yourself for things. So, you know, it helps it go away. It feels weird at first, but then it's a lot easier. I believe in everyone. Everyone can have higher self-esteem. I have a friend of mine I'm really hoping to help have higher self-esteem. I'm really working on it, and I think I'm getting somewhere with her, for sure. And I feel really, really happy about that for her. And me. Because that means I'm doing something good, too. And you know what? Random tangent, but I feel like this is a good thing to mention, good time to mention. Selfishness is not a bad thing. and if you're doing something for an entirely selfish reason, and this is the part that you need to understand, and it's of clear detriment to someone else, then it's a bad selfish thing. I would say there's bad selfish, neutral selfish, and good selfish. There's like 3 types of selfishness in actions. I would say. I would classify them as bad selfish is you do something and you know that someone will have, that someone will, like, literally have a negative effect from it, but you just do it anyway. That's bad selfish. Good selfish is the opposite of that. Good selfish is you know someone else is going to benefit, and you know you're going to benefit. But you know you're doing it at least partly because you're going to benefit. It's a good example is I'm trying to help motivate my friends to do some stuff that she wants to do. And part of it is, hey, I'm helping myself too because I'm helping myself feel like I'm helpful and useful because I'm helping someone. It's like a mutual self-esteem benefit thing, right? And then I'd say there's neutral selfish, which is you're just doing something for yourself. Actually, you know what? Even neutral selfish is good to an extent. It's a to an extent thing. It's certainly, definitely the sort of thing you need to be careful about not doing too much, especially from my experience, because I've had a lot of, I've been pretty withdrawn my whole life. And so I've had a definite excess of this type of thing. As an escapism method because I just have so much social anxiety that I've been working on and I'm way better at, and I feel good about that, but yeah, the neutral selfish is really, you're just doing something for yourself, and no one else is really involved, no one else really benefits, or, receives detriment from it. That's what neutral selfish is, and, it's extremely helpful, especially the more sensitive you are and that sort of thing, raise his hand, for being able to even do, the positive selfish stuff, or even completely selfless things, which is wonderful when you can do those, right? But you really need a lot of neutral selfish actions to be able to keep up with completely selfless ones, in my experience. Man, I need to write this stuff down. I think this might be helpful for people. Anyway, friends, we.
Nothing on my radar. Looks like we're safe for now.
Alright, where do I go? Do I have to, like, go somewhere at the top of this tower? Because, like, where the heck do I get to that other side? Okay, I'm very confused. How the hell do I get over there? Because it's been clear that I can't get through that freaking mountain. Unless I can? Wait, what's this? Oh, okay, it just lets you get down. That's cool. But then how do you get out of here? I have a feeling it has something to do with getting on these? Okay, I have no clue how to get out of this area. Like, where do I go? I do not understand. Is this a bug? Okay, okay, let's try this. Is there really a way to get through here that I didn't realize? No, okay. Actually, wait, no, maybe there is. Oh, you can just climb up this! I forgot entirely. I just thought it was a giant movable wall, but it ain't.
Hey,
okay.
it's a checkpoint. We should probably
There we
register
go.
it, right?
I forgot about this, obviously. Alright, moving onward! Wait! This is gonna be a very rambly episode. But you know what? I'm gonna try to also put all my goof ups in there in some way or another. because not trying to cover them up by completely editing them out is also another boost to my self-esteem, because that way, my mistakes were there. They also might give people some haha funny, you know? So that'll be good for my YouTube. Being vulnerable is a huge part of being a YouTuber that makes people successful. And that's something I'm still working on. It feels good, man. Keeper entrance. Wait, I never registered this? That's funny as hell. There must be a bunch of unregistered places in a lot of the jails then. Because I know that if I skipped this one, I probably skipped a lot of others and some of the others, which would explain why I feel like there's just less checkpoints in later jails, because I probably just didn't see at least, like, more than one of them, you know? I think I got the desire already. Hold on.
This is the request.
Alright, oh, I already completed the challenge. Yep, there we go. Feels good, man. Alright, cool. So there's that. Feels good, man. So, and turn that sucker in. What am I doing not going immediately back to the checkpoint? Alright. Return from jail. This is a whole episode, because this is just gonna be lots of rambly Durgan, lots of running around. I'm gonna be a slow burn person, and a lot of my stuff is gonna be rambles, and I don't want to keep it separate from my Let's Plays. Because, again, there's a benefit to talking about this stuff while I play a game to me. And this is, so far it's mostly a neutral, selfish action, to go back to what I was talking about earlier. But I would like for it to become what did I call that? A positive selfish? Selfish? I don't remember.
I'll just add this.